discipline is contagious. It snowballs, either in a good direction or a bad direction. I know for myself that I need to do little things that don't matter, do them just for the sake of doing them, because it puts me in a disciplined mind state. I know that if I just try to be disciplined in one tiny screenshot of my life, which is that, one and a half hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours at the gym, it works, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm getting the best out of my training and the time that I'm spending throughout my day. I recently, for whatever reason, I always have these epiphanies or these realizations to things that I've known, things that I've said to myself, to other people, posted about, things that I know. But for some reason, I always have like these epiphanies to where it hits me harder. For whatever reason, I know that my back rehab and my future in this sport or any other sport is 100% up to me. If I don't do it, it's not going to get done, and if nobody else is going to do it for me, and the amount of effort that I put forth is going to inevitably decide where I go with this, and it's up to nobody else but myself. And I know this, but for whatever reason, I don't practice it as intensely or as entirely as I should. For whatever reason, I guess I shouldn't say for whatever reason. I started listening to podcasts with Branch Warren a lot, and the running theme between every podcast and every video is he always says that nobody's gonna do it. Nobody's gonna do it but you. Nobody's gonna take care of things but you. And if you don't do it, somebody else is gonna do it in regards to themselves or taking what you want. For whatever reason, I heard it at the time that I needed to hear it, and I realized that I was giving a pretty poor effort to get back to where I want to be. I was giving enough effort to get to where I could get through life in terms of my back rehab. I could lead a mostly normal life, but that effort was not going to take me to where I wanted to go. And I make a solid effort to do X, Y, and Z every day. Those are the minimums, and they're things that I don't have to do to get better, to live life. Like, these are things that are not necessary. If I did not do them, nobody would know. Nobody would know but me, and they would not have a major effect on, if you just look at them at their face worth, the little worths that they have, they don't add up to a whole lot in terms of the pie. But the fact that I do them, for example, I'm not saying this to, like, get credit or praise or like a pat on the back, but I started waking up, half hour, 45 minutes earlier than I needed to, just to go for a 10-minute walk in the morning, to do a stretching, like, mobility routine before I even, eat breakfast and stuff like that. Is this necessary? No, it is not necessary at all. But for me, sparking that discipline to do things that I don't need to do, things that will help me accomplish my personal goals, but in the grand scheme of things in life, these things aren't necessary to do at all. But I know for myself that discipline snowballs. Discipline is contagious. I need to get myself into a disciplined mind state 24 hours a day, not just, those 2 or 3 hours that I spend at the gym. And I know from previous experience that if I get this constant level or aura of discipline, something as simple as, okay, every day when I get home, Frey and I are going to do the dishes. Do we need to do the dishes? No. Um, does it have anything? Does doing the dishes every time, every day when we get home, does that have anything to do with my back rehab? Uh, Progressing forward as a powerlifter? No. I made it a point now every day to make my bed. Does that have anything to do with powerlifting or rehab? No, it has nothing to do with any of that. What it does is it puts me in a mind level of discipline. Because if you don't have the discipline to make your bed every day, if you don't have the discipline to do the dishes every day, whether it's even if it's 5 dishes that got to go in there, if you don't have the discipline to do that little stuff, you're setting yourself up to fail at the bigger stuff. So every morning, and unfortunately, it was a pretty sharp test for myself. The week that I decided, to start waking up 45 minutes early to walk and do mobility, we went on overtime at work, so that meant I had to wake up an hour earlier to go to work an hour earlier, which meant that I was now waking up at 4:30 just to go walk for 10 minutes and do some mobility. And 100% honest, I really didn't want to do it because it was like, okay, I just started this 2 days ago, and now I'm already in a position to where I'm going to lose an hour of sleep anyways. Now I'm going to lose over an hour and a half of sleep, which in the grand scheme of things probably isn't the smartest decision, because sleep and recovery is always going to trump most things. But I don't know why I decided that it was so necessary. Um, I'm at that level of understanding that discipline is important, that I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, you said you were going to do this, so fucking do it. It doesn't matter if, you have to wake up an hour earlier for work. Make an effort to go to bed earlier, make an effort to eat better quality foods throughout the day to at least make a dent in that part of recovery. Set yourself up for success when there's things setting you up for failure. Another example that is my friend Brandon, to whom I also train and coach in powerlifting. He's got goals outside of powerlifting and inside of powerlifting, and he wants to take them above where he's at, both his personal health and in his powerlifting journey. He made a bet with himself, or like a decision with himself, that every morning he's going to wake up and do 3 sets of planks. And when he started it, he couldn't do 3 sets of planks for the time he had allotted himself, which was 3 sets of 30 seconds, I think it was. I could be wrong with that, but let's just, for the sake of argument, he's like, I'm going to do 3 sets of 30 seconds on planks every time I wake up in the morning. So Brandon is waking up earlier than he needs to, losing out on sleep to do something that is not fun. Waking up at 5 in the morning to do planks is not fun. Like, sleeping would be 1,000 times better than doing that, but it's just putting him in this mind state of discipline that is setting himself up for success. Because if you can be disciplined in the small things, it makes it that much more realistic to be disciplined in bigger things. And you don't really understand that until you do it. And you don't do it until you're ready. Like, something has to happen. There has to be, I know for myself personally, there just has to be some switch. Like, it either gets to the point where I'm sick of where I'm at, to the point where the only thing that's going to change is myself, or on the flip side, things are going so well, I know that if I do these things, it's going to make things go even better. So the theme of this is that this discipline, it snowballs. It's contagious. So take the time to be disciplined in the little things, and you'll be very surprised to see the effect that has on the bigger things. Another thing that's stupid, that this has nothing to do with powerlifting, my back rehab. I decided that I want to start dressing like I have my shit together. And that doesn't mean I'm wearing suits. That just means I'm wearing work pants that look good, or work pants or jeans that look good. Not like, they're not nice, but they just they look good, and a shirt with like the two couple buttons at the top, the pocket, and I tuck it in, and I do my hair, and I make sure that I look presentable, even though my job does not require that, my life does not require that. There's nothing about what I'm doing that says that you have to try to look presentable. But I know mentally that if I look presentable, I'll feel better about myself. If I feel better about myself, I'll make a bigger effort to try harder in everything. And the flip side of that, it's always nice to hear the compliments from people, that don't have to say anything, that say like, yeah, you look nice. And it's the fact that I'm wearing work pants that don't have holes or stains in them, tucking in a shirt that it's just a shirt that has a pocket on it. It's a step up from wearing tattered pants and just a t-shirt. But little things like that have huge pulsating, growing, flowing effects on the things that you do with the rest of your day. So if you get anything out of this, just know that discipline is contagious, and it's necessary, and it's needed. And if you're finding it hard to be disciplined in the big things that are your goals, whether it be anything, just whatever your goals are, they require discipline. And if you're struggling to find that discipline, set yourself up for success and find smaller goals that they don't even have to be relative to what you're trying to accomplish. Find 2 or 3 small goals, things that you absolutely don't have to do, and do them anyways, because putting yourself in that mind state of discipline makes it easier to do the things that are harder, even though you want to do them.